We're broadcast.
So with the
Hello everyone, I think we are live now.
Here we come, the image is coming. Oh yeah. And the sound is good? Perfect. Okay, so let's prepare a little bit for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, there, nice.
I think we are online, yep. So, hey everyone. We have 0 viewers, I think, if I see that correctly. And I think I don't need Discord anymore, so I can close that off. What we can do till 3 p.m. The stream starting soon. Oh, doesn't work. Where's all that stuff? Okay, anyway, keep it like that. What is this? Okay. Now.
Is this here today?
Yeah, so now we can.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another live coding with us.
Jetzt. All right. Hello, everyone. Hey, Shiva. Hey, Haida. Very nice to see you from Iraq. How are you doing today?
We hope you are doing well, Nice.
Can you hear us okay? Is everything perfect? I think I'm also in the video. You can see we have now again one webcam right now, so I hope this is also fine.
I think it's better for the performance of our laptop.
Yeah, hopefully.
It could be a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. We have warm weather here in Germany. It's too sunny.
All right, so let's start. Or?
Yes, Max. So, can you explain us what we did last session?
Yes, of course. We did so many great stuff. We made responsive design. We talked about what is it, why is it important, right?
Yes.
So we also improved our application in that form that we can have multiple split screens as far as on macOS. So we have on the left side one screen, on the right side one screen, and that was fantastic, right? I mean, we managed it to improve there a lot.
Yes,
and
I wanted now to open it.
I think it's in main screen if you take a look there. Screen, and then main screen. Yes, so we can see here that we have the responsive widget, which then contains like the small widget, medium widget, large widget, and contains.
This is what we built actually.
Yes, exactly.
The responsive widget. Yeah.
And with that, we had the chance to change all the different sizes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hoped we could achieve more in 2 hours, but at the end we did exactly this. We talked about it, how we can implement it, what is responsive design, and how we are working with that. Additionally, I think we answered a lot of questions from the chat, and we had also a lot of fun with you guys the last time. Hey Ashish, hey Hamish, nice to see you around again.
Hey guys, we are doing well. How are you doing?
Your life
we have a code for our live stream. When you want how you can get the time of our live stream, isn't it, Max?
Oh yeah, we have a commando for that, I think. Now
this is the.
Was it? Sorry, that is the wrong.
You should do.
I can do it here. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, our live stream together is every Wednesday at 2:00 p.m.
What? 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Sorry, at 3 p.m. And Max has one or two, it depends, a live stream on Saturdays.
Exactly. Usually I do it on Saturdays. I didn't know, or I don't know if you have seen it, but this Saturday it's getting to be very difficult to have a live stream. Because if you have seen it already, I will be part of the Flutter India and we'll have there a talk at Saturday. So I'm a bit nervous. So it's getting serious
Excited
now with Flutter.
Yeah.
So most likely we will make no live stream on Saturday.
Okay, let's see. And I will have a talk also on Monday for Flutter Saudi Arabia. So I'm also really excited about it, and I should still prepare some stuff in my presentation, which is really great, and also for me to learn better and more about my topic.
Yeah. Also, I really like it that we can take our topics from the YouTube videos that we present you and that we work with you together, bring it now to a live talk, right? Because now we are talking on a live audience, way bigger most likely, or smaller, who knows?
Yeah.
And then let's see how it turns out. But yeah, it's Flutter Days. It's a difficult week. I think we have a lot to prepare. The Flutter news are getting larger and larger and larger this week. Yeah.
And the question is she still nervous about the event? Do you speak about me, and what event do you mean?
Yeah, I think so. Ashish is talking about you, I think.
Which event do you mean? I'm normally nervous, so...
You're always nervous.
I'm always nervous, so... No, it depends.
Okay.
And what's gonna be our topic, I think?
Yes, for today.
Hamish. So we thought about at first, we have here our ad screen. As soon as I click on our add button, should happen something, which doesn't. Did
we broke it the last time?
Yeah, I think we broke it last time. I don't.
Can you jump into the run?
Yeah, let's see.
Here we go. It just takes its time because we're going back to Rocket.
Back to Rocket. Yeah, I thought maybe we can start to validate at first our form, and after that, let's see what else we can find, and maybe we can start with a data bank that we save our data. But Rocket had landed. Really? It will start soon again, Hamish, don't worry. So, okay, I will go back.
What would you like to see, Shiva, for a cool animation effect? I think we had already a page transition. Oh, that looks not that good.
Okay, so I will start the hot reload again.
You can't hear it? Oh, that's perfect. Then the noise gate is now working correctly, hopefully. Or it's so warm that it don't cool off anymore correctly. Does it work? Is anything working? Is everything broken?
It's somehow everything, so I will kill everything here.
All right. So you see it's a typical live stream with us, right? Nothing is working in the first place. Now we are working in half an hour to fix everything, so...
Actually, I tested before we started live stream, but somehow we will be surprised.
Oh, you did?
Time. Yeah.
Very good. You are pretty good prepared.
No, it doesn't work always. Hamish, thank you for your kind words. We are happy to hear that.
I have a unique color for my channel reference, but just for me, so I see it in orange at the moment.
So, I don't know why our application doesn't respond immediately somehow.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Is enough space for you? I can take the microphone a bit away. So
here we go. Oh yeah, now it's better.
Hey Mario, nice. Welcome to the family.
So as soon as we click on our add button, we have here at the recipe form, which we built it with form and form key and everything. And what I thought is to do some validation for our form before we start to save any data anywhere. So should we start, or what do you think?
I think that's fine. We can also scroll in that view since the last time, just to mention it. If it's a small screen, we can scroll here. That's pretty good.
Here we have also a drop down.
It is very slow today.
It's very slow today. I don't know why.
Maybe we should have to do...
Do we have here anything which is open? No, not really.
Not really. I think you can close off the Firefox. I think we don't need it at the moment. We should add Firebase. I thought to install Hive for it once more because the last time it worked that well, and I really liked the database for it.
When did you try? Did you do it? Did you do that in
You were
your
not there,
live
right?
stream?
Yes, the live stream
okay.
on Saturday. Amish and I think also Android user is forcing me to use Hive and just implement it during my live session where I tried to get more into the background tasks, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I was already nervous because it was our first learning together. So I had no idea about the topic and learned together with the community.
So I don't have any experience with Hive. But
yeah, exactly. So it will be the same experience for you once more. So
I thought actually about the School Flight, but okay, maybe we can create a poll for that.
Exactly. Or we do it with Firebase, as Amish said. But I think a poll sounds like a very good idea.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, I can see... Okay, let's see if our ad screen works now, and we can start to do some coding.
All right. But before we... Hey, Ogün, nice to see you around again. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing? Okay, amazing. So we have here at the recipe screen, and let's see what we have here. I will close the menu bar. Can you read everything, guys? Is the font big enough? Okay.
Very good.
Okay, perfect. So we have here, I can see we have here form key. It's a global.
Oh, did we created that already? That's perfect.
I think we did some stuff, but if I just try to submit our form, I don't get any response or error or something like that. So.
Hey Taha, nice to see you.
Hello Taha.
Free names changed, allowed. I love Flutter. All right, that sounds like a very good idea. Hey Tushar. Wow, 11 viewers. Now I'm getting, everything in 2 numbers. It's getting 2 digits. It's always, now we have to perform.
Warm, so,
now everything needs to be correct.
Perfect. So I will do my best, but don't make me nervous.
All right. So we have a form key.
We have here a form and we have a form key. The first text form field.
Can you explain shortly why we need a form and a form key?
The form key is a global key, I think, in our form where we can handle everything and validate our form.
Okay.
Is it right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I would say in the text form, we have here text form field. I think we should have some validator here.
Yep.
Validator.
Sometimes this is happening. So if you work after the declaration, then it should work again with the linting.
Okay, let's see here. Perfect.
We are not really teaching. We are going just by the side and explaining the stuff whenever we have the chance so that everyone knows what we are doing. So Mahtab, that's a good point. What is a validator in a text form field?
It's a great question, guys. So what I want to get is,
You're very welcome.
I will try to explain it.
It's super loud. I really have to make it. Why
is this so loud?
All right.
Guys, thank you for some, I don't know. Okay. So what does validator doing for us is we have here a text form field, and with the validator we'll get validator is, I think, is a function. We'll get some input parameters, which I will, for example, call it value, and after that we can check the value which we are give to our input form field, and we can do something on base of our value. For example, if the value is empty, we can produce some error or show some text to the user.
So yeah, maybe as a short explanation, validator validates our value that we get from the text form field, right? Yeah. So what do we return something in that place? A validator is always returning something.
Yes.
It returns null if it is valid and nothing is broke. So the text input that we entered is valid, then we return null in a validator. Okay. If it is not valid, we return the text that the text form field should show
to the user
to explain exactly.
Okay. Perfect. So that means in this case we need the best thing, I would say, going to be an if else statement, where we can say something like, for example, if the value.
Retro Portal.
Oops.
What is Retro Portal? Is it something that
value,
I should know.
for example, is empty.
Yes.
I would say. And we can say something return, and here please provide a recipe name. And as Max said, if everything is fine, we can return just null.
Correct.
And now, if the user doesn't provide any input in our field, it will and we submit our form, and the user submit the form, he will get some error, or he will get this text which we provide here.
Yes.
So this is the validator for this one, but we should take some action. Or I mean, if I will save this one now, and if I submit, nothing will happen.
Correct.
We should handle it in our submit button.
I think we have two possibilities, but yes, one of them is to push the validator by executing it with the submit button. Another option is, for example, to say auto validate. So you can give the text form field a flag called auto validate.
Okay.
Auto validate to true, for example.
Is from type.
Boolean.
So is it just to true?
Yes. So, and with that, whenever we enter now something in recipe name, you can see, because it's auto validating, it immediately sends us the message if something is wrong.
So I didn't do anything, but I get from the beginning.
Correct, because you check
error
against is empty, and at the beginning it's an empty string, right?
Okay.
So, but as soon as you enter now something into the recipe name, so for example, if you just pass a name inside or something,
it doesn't work there. Okay.
So you can see immediately the auto validation triggers again this function.
Okay.
And it's getting removed. But as you said, this is not what you want, right? You want to first have the option to enter something.
I think to get directly an error message or something, a red text, it's somehow not so nice.
Yeah, it's really ugly. That's true.
I would say. So what I thought, or what I usually do, is to handle it in my submit button. So let's jump to our submit button. We have here an icon, which is for our camera.
Yes.
And we have here a raised button, and we have here unpressed.
Oh, very good. And it's an empty method. So
and this is an empty method. And now we can take advantage from our form key, I would say. And here we should get the current state.
Correct.
And here go for validate. And I think I would say here again something like, if this is the case,
so what does validate returns us? It's a method, right? What does it do?
I think the validate would return us true or false.
That's correct.
It's a Boolean. Yeah, the return parameter of that is Boolean. And what we can do, for example, here is, if this is valid, we can show a spinner.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Or, and we can return here.
Wow,
oops,
look at that. Famous
right
people
there.
are joining our chat here, you know, Retro Portal Studio. I just Googled him. I didn't know that. He's also having a Flutter channel.
Oh, okay.
But a bit bigger than us, like 8 times bigger than we.
Oh, okay.
So congratulations on your hard work. I can really appreciate that.
Yes.
Welcome to our channel, to our small one.
Yeah, thank you. And what did this say? Tutorial on Dart were pretty good. I looked at the unfold.
So Mahtab, you get famous.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that. To be honest, when we are doing, or when I'm doing some tutorial, I would say I think always it's not so hard, or it's somehow obvious, or is it worth, or is it valuable for our audience or not? And so, I'm sometimes not sure. But at the end, if we get such a feedback, we are always happy. Thank you, and it will motivate us.
Okay.
So, if the form is validate, so we can return, what's the name? Spinner? No.
Be careful. What does validate does? It is a method, right? So it executes something. And validate executes now all the different form fields that are inside of this form control that we created, so the widget form, and everything inside is getting now executed. So all the validators in the text form fields inside getting executed, and the validate method returns you if all the text form field validators are valid.
Yes.
So, and with that you get the true or false flag from that.
It's right. So that means I should now handle the true or false.
Correct. So you will get now a true or false, and depending on what you are doing or what happens now, if you are valid, what would you do? You would save it to the DB, for example. So there would be like a to-do, save it.
Yeah.
And else, what do you want to do else? You want to validate them and don't navigate, for example.
Yes.
Something like this.
Yeah, but so if this is valid, I can show a spinner to show the loading spinner and to save the data in our thing. Or I thought this can be handled here.
Yes, but the problem is to execute the loading spinner, we need a process that runs long, right? We don't have anything like that. So saving to the database or doing something.
Okay.
The thing is, if everything is valid, the first thing that we would like to do is navigate back to the home screen, because if we added our recipe and everything was fine, I would like to get navigated back to the home screen to see my result.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. And how did we do that? Did we use the provider here, Max? Or what was the...
I think we used the provider, but just to save something or having a list of recipes or something like that.
Okay, so I would say the navigator.pop at the moment.
But why do you return it? An onPressed method, can it return anything?
No, not really. It's a callback.
It's a void callback.
Void callback.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's really true. I'm really happy that the community comes slowly together and everyone meets each other. It's great to see everyone around. Really looking forward. Khevar, can we check in validator that value is exist? So change your inputs. Exactly, something like that.
So I can see here, I don't know what I should do now.
Okay, to help you, we want to navigate now back to the first screen. Okay. So exactly, navigator.
Pop. Go for the pop.
Yep. And that's it. And then just add maybe add a to-do for us, because we need to do something if this part is valid. So all of our inputs are valid. Then we want to save something to the database.
I'm going to do to-do.
Yep.
Handle the navigation.
No, we navigated already. That's below.
Okay, handle what?
The save or down.
Save. Handle to save data and DB.
Correct. And now because Emish is telling it correctly, you wouldn't take 3 slashes for a to-do, because it would get added to the Dart docs in the worst case. And then you have like a documentation where there is a to-do inside.
So is it just 2 or is it without a slash?
It is just 2 slashes for a comment and then to-do.
Okay, perfect.
And I think this is also, handle is LA.
Actually, I don't need to handle.
No, just save the data on DB. That's all right. We know what we want to say. Okay.
Perfect.
But if everything is working well and you have now a valid form, you can submit.
So it means if I just submit, I should get this message. And if this is not the case, what I don't like this one, I would like to write it with, okay. So, hello.
You press Control, I think, and delete, or?
Oh, okay.
If you delete in front of you, how do you delete? Is it? Oh, I'm not sure anymore.
I don't know. So the thing is, wait. I thought.
What is the problem?
I can write with the keyboard.
I think there is a new version from the emulator, and I don't know when did I install it, but somehow it's broken for us. Just keep it like that. If we enter H or something, everyone will understand that this is a recipe name.
And when I submit it, this is the only field that we validate, and we go back.
Correct. And now everything is fine, right?
Yes.
Cool. And
so
now
I use the simulator. Okay. Perfect. So this is at first for our first
Hi DMA,
field.
nice to see you around.
And now the question is, we don't need actually, or do we need any validator also for our?
Not really, no. I think it's
one.
always something selected. I think what we could do is for the recipe name that we set up, for example, a keyboard type. That would be maybe interesting. And what I would also like to see for the recipe name is not only to check if it's empty. Can it be something else than just empty? No, I think everything else is
Can be
allowed.
also number or something like
that. Yeah, if the user likes, there is no difference, right?
But because I think it's good to have. I think we should somehow. The user should provide, for example, definitely an image. Otherwise, our database will be full with many names and without any.
That's true. Yeah.
So, but let's start at first with the text form field. Where are you? Here we go. This is the validator, and here we need a keyboard type, and I think I can say something. Oops.
Is it in the video? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Text input type, and it can be, I think, text. Perfect. It's nice when it works.
Yeah, but I think that looks pretty fun. So you see the keyboard is updated. That's cool.
And here we can see the scroll.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like is that the container is pushed on the top, but this can we fix later.
Yeah.
We will work with the poll as soon as we go to the database, but I can let that run maybe already in the background.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I check the Hive if it can even save the images, because I'm not sure about that.
Okay, and the next thing is here. Here we have an icon button with the camera and unpressed. And we used already the image picker. And now what I think is, if we can get the value of the image picker, and if it's empty, that we show a text or error message to the user that he should select an image. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
This is an icon. This is not text field or something like that. We should handle it, I think, somehow different.
I think we have to make a custom validator for that, right? So we have to check the image if it is null.
If this is null, what happened?
Then we need to show an error message when we press the validator. So we have to make a custom validation. Because we don't have a form field or anything. So we would like to show a text ourselves. So inside of that package that we have, no, we didn't use that yet, DMA, sorry. Just the usual image picker.
The normal image picker.
So what we would do, instead of just returning, if we have an image selected, if you scroll up, we have that image.file, right?
Yes.
So we just show the image itself. What we would like to have is more like a container or something that shows, that can show our error message if the image is empty.
So an error message in as text or something like that? So
what I would like to see is, we have now the image down here, right?
Yeah.
So, you clicked it. That was a mistake. You have to go back.
So this is
and now it breaks, and I think I know why, because now the image is empty, it's null, right? And it tries to show image is null, and so it breaks.
Okay.
That's why it's getting completely black here. So we have to kill the does it come back?
I think it's
maybe it's just stuck or something. Interesting.
Okay.
But anyway, what we would like to see, if the icon button is there, right?
Yes.
Then we need a Boolean variable, for example, has error or something, where we check if the image is null. And if this is the case, then we don't have only an icon button. We will also have a column or something where the text is underneath. And that only is visible when we have the image equals null.
Okay. So maybe we can just wrap our icon button in a column.
Could be, I don't know. Where is it wrapped? Where? What is it actually on top of it? It is a container, so yes, we can have a column around it, I think.
Because this one has just one child.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can actually, okay, now, which one makes sense? To wrap the container in a column or to wrap our icon button? No, the container should be wrapped in a column.
Why?
Because this is, the whole one is our container, and in the middle is our icon button.
Yeah, now we want to have a text.
Now we want to have text here, I would say.
Below the box?
Oh,
I would say inside.
Yes. Ah, okay.
Because then you have the red text inside of a white box, so you can read it easily.
We can iterate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just an idea. Yeah. I don't know. We don't have a design for that yet. But if you have a design or you have ideas about the design, please tell us that we can improve.
So we can do something like that. Here we have our icon button.
Yep.
And as next, now we can check if.
Hey Minu, nice to see you around. Hope you are well.
Hi. Okay, now we can check and see if our image is null, or we can show this one. Something like that, maybe.
Close.
How I can check it, right?
Ternary operator?
Yeah. I would say the image.
First you have to say what is true or false, right? So equal,
null.
So if it is null, right? Now you need a question mark.
Now is it
now it's good.
Mark? So we need text widget, and please provide or please select an image.
Okay. And what would happen if there is nothing? Nothing. Just keep it. I think that should be fine. So only if the image is null, you'd show the text, and else you don't. Right?
Yes. I think I need something like that.
Correct.
No.
No?
I think I need the else part, or?
Oh yeah, true.
It doesn't work without.
Okay, so
what we can do is
an empty text, maybe.
Placeholder or something? No. Oh,
a placeholder wouldn't be a good idea. Placeholder is a good idea if you want to showcase something.
Okay.
But an empty text, or you could also return null, that would also work most likely. And now we need space between or something.
We need space between, and where is our column? Here we go. And we have here the main axis alignment. Main axis alignment, for example, the space between.
Not quite.
Not really. What I'm thinking about is, wait, just to check if this works. Can I use here now the alignment of our text, of the text? But I think no, it's not for the column, it's just for the text part.
Correct, that wouldn't help.
No, it doesn't work. It can't help actually the main axis alignment. And what I can see is,
what you could also do is wrapping the icon button in an expanded. With that you would push the text anyway to the bottom, right? And
take the most of the place.
Correct. Okay. And then the image, to make it also centered, you could also put the icon button into a center widget.
Okay, without this one. But tell me how this one is at the moment in the center.
Which one?
How was it? The icon, because that was in a container.
Yes.
The child and icon button. The icon button is.
I think if the child is the only thing that is inside, it's always getting centered.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the parent is centered. I'm not sure, but one of these options.
Okay. So what we can do is maybe to go for centered. No, expanded at first. Expanded.
Good.
Perfect.
And it's also centered, so you don't have to even center it.
Is it centered?
Not quite.
It's not. Oh. Is it centered, guys?
Quite enough, I think. But now we can make the text red, for example.
Yes. Let me please select an image, and we need here style. Okay. Text style. Render style route I wrote here.
So we get the text style here. Yep.
Here. And it's gonna be the color, and I'm going with colors red.
Correct.
But the const one was better, I would say.
Okay, but now we have one problem, right? Because whenever we come into that page, it is immediately red. So it is exactly the same problem again. How can we fix that?
Okay, but before we fix that one, Max, let's push the text a little bit up.
Okay, you can do that, sure.
Now I'm thinking about, should I give some padding, or do we have any other option? Let's see, do we have here like, no, we don't have anything here in text, I would say. In the column maybe? We don't have it.
I think the easiest way is to give it a padding.
I don't like it actually, but I will do that.
You don't like it? Why?
No, I don't like to wrap everything in padding or something like that. I try to find always padding as an input parameter.
Okay, but without a container, it's getting difficult. But
yeah.
that's fair enough. I think for this one, it's perfectly fine. You could also have a sized box underneath. It's also a possibility. So that you say underneath the column, you push another thing. But
this
with
is
all
also
of that,
another widget.
Exactly. So it's getting not easier. And I think with a padding, you're pretty fine.
Perfect. So now we are coming to the interesting question, which is when we are coming to this.
How did you do that?
We have here zoom. We can zoom in our app. Could you please go back? Yes. Now, when we are coming to our add recipe screen, we get immediately the red text, which is not the case, which is not what we want actually.
Correct.
So what I'm thinking is, at the beginning it shouldn't be displayed, and after validation it should be displayed. So can we handle this one somehow in our, no, that's not in the form key. Cross our finger. Okay. Navigator pop. Do you have guys any idea? In the meanwhile, I'm thinking about it. So, can we handle it somehow in the form key? No, it's not part of the form.
Correct. So it is something else. It is something special, I would mainly say, where we have to validate it.
But I think it should be handled here, or can we say something like...
Where do you want to validate? At which point of time you want to validate?
After we submit it.
So it needs to be somewhere in the submit. There we need an option to validate it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the submit.
This is here actually.
Correct. And it is not part of the if case at the moment. So it needs to be up there or before that, because we want to first validate if the image is there or not. So then how can we validate it? Yes, you could say now if, but the problem is that wouldn't help you so much, right? Now you have to first identify if it is valid or not, right?
If the image is null or not.
Correct. So how would we do that? Do we have access to the image here?
Yes.
So how about image equals null? Just checking if it is empty.
We can go something if null.
And the best thing is if we save it now into a variable.
What did you say? What did you say?
Save it in a variable. The result of that we save in a variable. Correct. Give it a better name than Google.
Better name. Image value or something like that. No, it's image.
Check for image.
Check for image.
And now We have the semicolon. Yep, perfect.
And now we can say
stop. You can just combine the if method because you want to validate everything in that single line, right?
Yes.
So you validate the form controls, all of them. And
I was lucky. And check for image.
And that's it, because it is a true or false.
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
And if this is the case,
and how we
will go back.
Exactly. We don't change anything here. We leave it like it is. Now we just have one more thing. We now have to check. Now we need to make the visibility of this text depending on this value. So how can we do that?
So I would say in the else part, we can say something like, okay, if this is not the case.
Why in the else part now? I don't get that. You make a validation on top for the check for image, right?
So if the check for image is true, we will go back.
How do we display a text widget?
We display the text widget here. Like that.
Correct. No, and where is the question if this is visible or not? It needs to be there where the text widget is, Mahtab.
Here.
Yes, exactly. So if you take a look, we have up here exactly the question. So now we have to depend on the submit part.
Yes.
How can we do that? We need a field for that. We need a variable that is combined between this part and the part in the onPressed method.
So it means we can put everything in a variable.
We have to, yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking.
Okay. So, which means?
But not everything, just the question if we want to show it or not.
Okay, which is this one.
Correct.
Images now. Replace this only here.
Yep, for now. You're really struggling with the emulator today, yeah?
Yeah. Right and left. Okay.
Good.
So we can go again for image value.
Check for image.
Let's set it over time. Check for image.
Correct. And now this part needs to be outside of the build, right? It needs to be a state.
We can put it here.
For example, down there, exactly.
Now here we don't have the image.
Ah, that's true. That is correct.
Because we don't have, okay.
But that's fine. We just need a variable on top. So just, just go up. When we initialize the state, we just say it is false. Because the image should not be visible at the beginning, right?
So it means we can just define the variable here.
The best part, just call it bool, because now we know exactly the type, right? So
Boolean, this is check for image. It's gonna be this here.
Correct. Now we can remove that lower part. We don't need that part any. Exactly.
Okay, and we can set it down.
Exactly.
Okay, in the down part. And now here. Okay.
And in line 164 it is.
Here we go.
And that's it, more or less. And now if you go down to your submit button, you set this check for image with the new value, right? So if it is getting true, then something is changed. So you just remove the var here in front.
Yeah, we've defined already.
Correct. So now it is broken because something is null. Because if the set state has not initialized, right? So
yeah,
that's right. So if you go now to the add button, on the right side, just go to the right view.
Okay.
And it's still null. So we have to first set the value on the top.
I would say in the init state you should set it off.
Or we can just make it on top. I think the bool equals false. Because in the beginning we want to have it false,
Yeah.
and then we want to make it true.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, hot reload, of course, because the state has changed. Cool.
And now we don't see the
Correct.
text anymore. Okay, wait.
The WWDC, yeah, we watched it, I think. No, or you watched it, right?
I watched it. Oh, that was not good because when
What is the problem?
the problem is that now we get probably the right text here in the top part, in the bottom part,
Yeah.
but we navigate already. So
No.
look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right, but why?
Because okay,
What?
let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
Yep.
if the change, if this is very valid and the check for image is true, we should validate. Otherwise, we can't.
I will update as soon as possible. I update always and everything. I'm like the update master.
Okay.
Okay.
The problem, I don't know why we navigate even if this is not true.
Okay, maybe
I
we
have
should
it
give it a
right.
better text. Check for name for image seems not to be absolutely sure. So what you can try
Let's
is give the
print
check for
here.
image. No, we don't have to print
Oh, yeah,
anything.
okay.
Just rename the check for image to something that makes more sense. So what is actually what we have here? So if you cancel once more that we can read, what exactly do we check? We say image equals null. So what is the result of that?
It's true. At the beginning.
That is not a question. What is the result of it? The naming result. We don't have an image or we have an image?
We don't have an image.
Okay, so it is we have no image, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't, that is true or false, right? Do we have an image? Yes or no?
No.
No. But if you take a look down in the if statement from us, we say check for image, which is true. If it is wrong, so it is the opposite.
The opposite part. Okay. So
We don't have to remove it, we have to negate it. So
can
with that,
go
we
for
have the
it like
exclamation
that.
mark in front. So because check for image is really a bad name, we should maybe rename it to is image there, or
is
image exists is maybe a good name.
is image selected.
Yeah.
Is image selected?
And now we're checking for the null value.
Is image selected is equal to image, and at the beginning this one is false.
Correct. So because it is not selected, right?
This is because it's not selected. Yeah.
And only if we select one, we can navigate. So with
Or
that,
type image selected as it is Boolean. So the type's already Boolean, or
it is a Boolean, yes.
it's a Boolean, Hamish.
So, but what does it
Okay.
work? So if you
So-
press now on the submit button, what happens? So we don't navigate anymore.
We don't navigate, which is perfect.
But there is a different problem.
We don't show the text
And
anymore.
where comes that from?
This comes from here.
No. Do you remember a magic method that we always call if we change something?
Yeah, when it is at state now.
Correct. But not inside of the if statement, right? Because then we would only set the state if we are valid.
Yes, we have to do it here.
For example, yes.
We need the state here.
And here we go. There's our image.
There is an image.
That is absolutely true. Amish has right.
Yeah, or
So-
I thought
It
the
is a
same,
little bit
but
on the top, but the problem is here, I think.
no, it's a little bit on the right side.
Is it?
Yeah, I would say at least. Here, please select an image. That was really cool.
Okay.
I think I needed more time to.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's also hard on the stream, so that's fine. But what we did now is we created against state, where we check for the image. And the only problem that I have at the moment is that we have again two ways on handling state. I think I saw somewhere the app state somewhere, app provider. So what I would recommend in the future, or maybe that we work on that is also to say we concentrate on one state management tooling, right? And if we do that, all of these parts that are state, besides of the global key, of course, would live inside of a provider. So we would create a provider for all of them and then save all the information there.
The provider cares about take care of state.
If we do that like that, yes.
But something like file image is just a variable, or why should I save it in the state?
Because it is state. We have here state, right?
Ah, okay. Hey, do I use square?
No. None of them. Sorry.
Okay. So the next thing, we should maybe at first center this one.
Okay, so let's center it. The question, I think if you want to center it, you need to create a stack instead of a column.
I need a stack. Why?
Because if you
column and we have two things bottom of each other. No? Nice.
I'm not sure. I maybe I just don't see it correctly, so that's the problem. Is that the text below
Yeah, I
for me it is left and right is correct, but for me it's on the top, so it is a bit too high.
For me, is the right part smaller than the left part?
Okay, I can't see that. I don't know.
No?
Maybe we can have that. I think there is tooling for that, right? So if we take that outline or the Flutter inspector. Yes, hi there. I think the video will be saved automatically as a live stream. You will find also all the other videos that we created already. So, and if we take a look here inside, please select an image.
Yeah, this is right. That was right.
I just want to select this one. Yeah, is it right?
Yeah, look at that. The blue
the blue
square,
box here.
Blue box is in the middle of our container.
It's a little bit off, okay.
And our icon is a little bit off on the right side. Yep. It's available also method. Yeah.
Is there a reason for that? Frankly, I've never seen that. So there's a sliver, slice bar, contrary, hero animation. Whoa. Okay. Unfortunately, somehow today everything is a bit off. No, I can't select it. Ah, now. There is a rich text with a center expanded icon button. You see, the icon button is not completely in the stretch. That looks weird. Okay. So maybe I was wrong. Yes, hi there. I think you can watch it all the time later. That's no problem.
This is the container. We have a column.
Oh, you think it's a bug image?
Okay.
Could be, but I don't think so.
This is the icon.
So it's not thick enough.
Does it? No.
Restart the app or the machine, that's called, yeah.
This is the rich text, okay.
I'm not really happy with the new emulator. I have to check where this comes from. But maybe, no, I don't tell something about the master channel now because that has nothing to do with that.
Okay, no, it's somehow.
And it's also weird that it takes so long when you come out of the image picker.
What I'm thinking is the icon button has...
it's expanded, maybe because of the expanded widget, that this drives crazy. Is it now more in the center?
No, it's
still not?
No. What I'm thinking is this one, the color main?
Do we have anything else? The border all can't be the problem. Box decoration, the width, double infinity. No, that's correct. This is just because of that.
The container is actually alright.
Yeah.
We have a column, the column. I thought in the column we can adjust the children, actually, the main axis.
Yeah, we did that. The problem is it is centered, actually. I think it is centered. The question is now, yeah, I know, I see that, I understand, but the problem is if you take a look into the Flutter Inspector once more, you can see that the part where the icon is living in is not big enough. So it is more a problem about the widget, how it is aligned.
Oh, you mean probably is this, okay.
So maybe there's just a problem. Can we restart the whole application once? Maybe it's automatically gone away, hopefully. Maybe we can also use the simulator instead of the Android one. But there was also a problem, right?
That was also a problem.
Today everything goes wrong.
iOS. I can try to use the iOS simulator.
Okay, so let's see what happens here.
The problem with iOS is that I can't keep iOS on top of our editor. Is there any way that we can keep it always like Android on top of our editor, guys? Do you know any way how we can do it?
I would check, maybe I find something. I don't know, but no, I like to know.
Maybe we have something here, but I don't think so. Physical size point, bring different. This one?
Did it start? No, it works. Running Xcode will take a while.
And can you please make a video for Square package with Flutter?
I will take it on the list. Let's see. Square package. Oh, point of sale solution. That sounds interesting.
No, it's still, I have it in the simulator.
It's still not correct?
It's not correct.
Okay.
So let's have a look here.
So you can see. So go back to the app. What happened? Did we get a crash report or something?
No, it's a good question. I just opened it again.
Okay. Now restart the machine is no option, Amish. No option. It's not possible.
Max, if I just open the save recipe, I will download our simulator. No, it doesn't connect it automatically.
I don't think so. We have to attach the process then. Okay, so
next try.
But anyhow, as you can see, the blue box that you have
the blue
here
box is not in the middle.
Doesn't contains the icon whatsoever. So this is the problem, and I think that has something to do with this icon button here.
Do we have here anything?
Not really, I think. There is a padding, but does it sound right? I don't know. Maybe edge inside all? Oh, look at that. It's getting a bit thicker, yeah. But still, this is not real solution, right? It doesn't help us.
Not really. What about if we are going like that? Horizontal is 0. No, can I give it minus?
No. Don't start with some minuses. Delete that line. We don't want to see that. The question is now, why is it not containing? And you said the expanded has nothing to do with it. So if we delete the expanded, it still does not work, right?
No.
The question is, it's interesting that it's even off here.
Replace icon button with icon.
Yeah, that's maybe an option. We can just take just the icon and put it in the sign. The question is now, why is that, as you can see, even the blue box here is smaller than the icon itself. So the icon seems not to take enough space in the icon container.
How about if I make it a bit smaller?
That is not a solution. We can't change the requirements just because
I know,
it works.
but look at that. Now it's in the middle.
But only in the middle of the blue box, because we made it smaller, right? So it is out of the box constraints, unfortunately. So we have to change that to 60 back, and I think somewhere instead of the column, maybe it's a problem with the column.
If I delete the column, we can't have the text anymore.
For now, can we just remove that for now?
the icon button, or do you want to remove the column?
The column, I think. But what do you want to do?
I thought at first to icon button. I wanted at first to remove the icon button.
I mean, we can come back here anyway soon. So if we just
have just an icon.
Okay.
Can I just have just an icon?
Yes, icons dot, and then the name of the icon that you want to. And you can see there the blue box looks completely different. So it has something to do with the column, I'm sure. So if you take the size and make it 60, you will see it.
So this one is in the middle.
Yeah. So it seems to be that the column is pushing the icon button somehow differently. Interesting. So what we could do is surrounding the icon button maybe with a container and give it 60 to 60.
We can probably replace the icon button with icon and surround or wrap our icon with a gesture detector or something.
Also
like
a possibility, yep. Can try that.
So icon button has a kind of padding itself.
How do you think it has a padding and that's the reason? Maybe it has also a margin.
We check it.
Yep. Okay, so can you give the padding a 0 and then check if there is also a margin? Not a geometry. Yeah. Ah, you see, maybe that's
better.
It's better. There's still something, but this could be the margin now. Can you check if there is also a margin on the icon button? No. Ah, the icon size. Can you enter the icon size here instead of the icon size inside of the icon? So if we remove the icon size here. Look at that. And then I think you can also remove the padding. Now it understands the whole part. Yep. So it creates a padding surrounding it. I didn't know that. That's funky.
This is cool.
Okay. No, it's not really cool, but it's more annoying. Now. But now it's working perfectly, yeah.
Which is good, actually.
Good hint. Thank you, Vikas.
Yeah. Perfect. So now.
Great.
Ah, look at that. I can now. That's right. Chicken.
Can you take a look here inside? I think the image gallery has some problems with the iPhone. Decoded framing performing. So
connection to device.
Okay, so our image gallery seems to create some problems with the iPhone. Maybe we have to set up something. Can you check the documentation?
Yeah. Let's bring it here.
Take a sip of water. Maybe I can search in the meanwhile. Okay.
Image picker?
Yep, the image picker. I think there is... Yep. And now if we go to iOS, see, there is a lot of stuff to do. And I think we have nothing done of that.
We didn't do that?
No, because we have currently, or we used Android till now.
Okay.
So most likely this is our part. I will make that one as a big one. And I think we have to add all these stuff into our info P list of our iOS project.
iOS, runner, and info playlist. So let's see here. I will make this one big, make this one, and come here. So iOS. What was the other one?
I think it was runner, but you can check it again. Yes, iOS runner and then info plist.
iOS runner and info playlist.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Oh, sorry. So, and as you can see, it is a basic dictionary with a key value pair always. So you see key value or key string, and so on. And now we have to do the three values that we see on the right side. So NS photo library usage description. And what do we have to set it? Describe why your app needs permission for...
Library.
Okay. Go back. And now on the bottom of the file.
Here.
On the bottom of the file. you will find, you just
key.
copy one key with a string if we find one. So like
Something
you
like this
exactly.
one.
And now what we have to do is we have to describe why we will, copy it to the bottom of the file. Yeah, if you have custom stuff, it's always better to add it on the bottom, so you will find it easier. Cool. And what you add now is you change that to whatever you wanted before, exactly.
Wait
to all three of them.
This one at first. We'll do this.
So as you can see here or read, there is description mentioned. So that means you have to describe why you want to have access to that photo library. So now in that string parameter, you describe why you need access to it. So you describe it to your users because they will see it at in the end in their iOS application.
Okay.
So start typing, exactly. Any reason, so just reason one.
Reason one.
Yes, just a placeholder for a reason that we have for our users later, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a production ready app, you would write why you need access for your library. For example, we want to access your library because we want to use the images from the gallery for the recipes.
And this is the email, the message that user will get.
Exactly, the user will get it from iOS and has to verify that he is happy with that.
So I think I will do something like that.
As I said, he will read that. So this should be clear text, I think. So exactly, something like that.
Because here is always...
Because they are not all descriptions. As you can see up here, it's an orientation, for example. So it is something completely different. It's more how does the app orientate somewhere. And all the other keys can be also just true or false, as you can see with the appearance, for example.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Perfect. This one. So we need, again, another one. This one.
I think we have also to keep track of the indentation later, but now just copy it across first.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
All right, Amish. Good. Have a nice dinner or lunch.
Reason for access to camera.
So here exactly the same thing. Why do we want to access the camera, right? And last but not least,
I will do this one. And here we go.
Yeah. So the microphone usage.
Reason for access to.
Perfect.
Now I think, Max, how do you do it? No.
I think.
How do you select more lines?
Oh yeah, that's Command Shift and 1 at my keyboard.
Okay.
Yep. Amazing.
Okay, so perfect. Now let's look.
I think you have to restart the application now and rebuild it, but
we should anyway start from the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. And with that, we have now access to our gallery and our camera and the microphone if we want to.
But actually, okay, that was a little too much.
It is just.
Don't need any microphone.
Yeah, I know. We can also leave that away if we don't need it. So, because these permissions are really important for a lot of people. So keep them as low as possible because all permissions lead to that someone don't want to use your application, right? Because it could lead to some implications.
Too much information.
The only thing that I don't like is that it's just crashing. It should give us a warning. And you see, and as you can see now, you have the reason for image that you entered as a text.
Here we go. You can see that. Okay.
Exactly. So you can really describe why you need that access, so that the user don't feel like you take his data or do something with the microphone that he don't want to support.
Okay, so probably something better.
I think for now it's fine. For our demo application, it's perfect.
Okay. So I will.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, maybe we have to crop the image.
Yeah. Probably we should do it as next.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can do that.
So here gonna be this one.
Yep.
Argument here the pick. Image picker. Image source.
This is just the void callback, right? We need the widget, the image widget.
What is it actually?
I think below the column.
I thought it's
Down there.
here.
The last thing.
Image file.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to know if we can access anything else here. Is this one? And maybe we can use fit. Or I don't know.
The question is what we want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Okay, with that now the container is full, right? That's
Yeah.
already perfect. But we need something else, and I'll leave that with the cover. I think that's fine. The cover is okay.
Yeah,
you can really use it. You thought something else is there.
Yes.
The problem is what an image can't have is a rounded border. For
So
that,
we should crop it.
correct. And for that, the Flutter team provided us happy or thankfully enough, and I did that 2 days ago, so that's why I know it. It's really not something.
Do we have even crop widget or something?
Do you remember the clippers?
Yeah.
Right? We have the custom clippers.
Yeah.
There is also a clip R rect clipper.
Yeah, okay.
And we can use that to make a rounded border. So you can wrap that with a clip.
Clip.
R ECT. Yes, exactly this one. And now you can give that a border radius. So you can see a border radius.
And let's see, what was our border radius for our color?
Yep.
The border radius was 30.
Thank you for some flowers. It's always good to have them.
Here we have 30. Oops. Okay, I think we need.
That's most likely radius. Border radius.l all or something.
Border radius all. And I think radius circular or something like that. And now I can provide 30.
Correct. And as you can see, the image gets its border. Fantastic.
Isn't it nice? Do I see here somehow a border?
Yes. And where does the border comes from?
I think at the top we. No, that's too far.
Yep.
Here, border all.
Yes, but that's perfectly fine. I think that's happy days. But what you can see is really that the image is now cropped. We have the image there where it belongs. It's on top of the other container. So I think that looked pretty awesome, or?
Yeah, I would say the same.
The only thing is what we could, that's a cool topic, I think. What we could do is, if we have that image, right? It's now very bright and living, right? So how can I explain it? What
do you want to make it not blurry, but
a bit darker maybe? And the icon in the center of it again.
Oh, do you want to give it some opacity?
And not opacity, I would like to have like, how can we call it? An overlay of the image so that it's getting a bit dark. And then we put the icon on top of it again. Because the user can still select it, or no, he can't. So we can't change that image anymore at the moment.
Which is not good.
Not really. So that would be maybe a fantastic second move, right? It's just an idea. I don't know. What do you say, chat? Is that something that you would like to see? Like an image with a different color and everything? Stack, yeah.
Okay, how we can make it possible so that here I'm in rect.
Yep.
Here, image, file, and our image picker is here.
Yep, go for it. Okay, so the chat wants to have that.
Perfect. So, we have some steps.
Yes.
Couple of steps. The first one, we make it a little bit darker, as you said. Which means we need a layer on top of that.
Correct.
Okay, and it will happen only if we select an image, right?
Correct.
And the other step is how we make it possible for user to select an image even if it's if the icon is on top of that, we can choose another image anyway.
Yep, I'm not sure yet. I don't have a solution yet. There are multiple ways that we can do that. So at the moment, we decide strongly if there is an image or if there is none image, right? So if we take here a look, this is now the step where the image is selected. Everything below this column here on the left side, this one, everything is selected and the image is there, right? And now we have to find something where we say, okay, we can now copy everything and clone everything, right? We can now write a stack, put the image on top, have a layer on top, and then have the icon, and we would create another onPressed method, which would do the same thing like on top. That would be one option, that we create everything here inside. Maybe extract the widget later for that. Or we could try to combine both of them. That we really say, okay, that icon that we have on top here, right? That icon button sticks always the same icon button. We can use it for both.
Yeah, and what we can do is instead of column, we use the stack.
Correct. And then we would like having on bottom of that image, but only if it is there or something. So these are the options that we have at the moment. And now it's the question, what do you prefer? What is the chat preferring? What do we want to see at the end?
So what is the pro and the contra of both of them? I think if we go with stack, we can just replace our column and we can use the same icon button.
That would be the benefit. So we would reduce our code most likely. On the other hand, we are not that flexible anymore. So for example, if we want to change something in the future and we have that complete separation, we can, for example, cut the image completely or do something completely crazy with it because it is its own element. So we could just, if there is something, if this is a special widget for its own, so we have that image is there or image is not there, we can have more flexibility with it.
Okay.
So these are the two options that we have now to understand. The question is more, what do we think in the future? Where do we come to?
And the question is if we should now think about future. Yeah. No, in general we should. Okay. What do you think, guys? Which one is your favorite one?
So to combine them or to create an own widget with the image? You know what? I will do whatever.
I would say the easiest way is to get the stack.
Okay, so if you say that already and you are convinced of that, we can try with or go further with that. I
will do that, but in the meanwhile, you can say your opinion. If I try.
So what I can do is, what I will do now, I will just create a poll so that everyone can do something in the meantime, and then combine both widgets.
What I can do is maybe, okay, let's see at the first. I will do something like that. We don't have an image to see. Okay. Bring this one up. We have here this container.
So I started in the meantime a small poll. I hope, yep, you can see that right now. And if you enter now !vote, you can vote for combining them or separating the widgets. And we will take a look in the meanwhile for the stack solution.
Yeah,
and if the chat is selecting something else, then you have to create first the one solution and then change it to the other side.
Yeah, Shiva. As icon button is already there.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
So now I just replaced our column with stack.
Okay. And it looks a bit odd.
It looks a little bit odd, yeah. But
is there a phone?
Yeah, earphone.
Unfortunate. Sorry, guys. I'm back in a sec.
So our icon button is here, and here we have our stack, padding, text, clip right. Okay, what I'm thinking is we should have here. I need a positioned, isn't it? I think here we need a positioned widget. And now I can give, for example, the button.
So back again. So where are we?
I thought, okay, the problem is now that, let me think about something. Okay, wait, before I'm going so far.
Yep.
We had here our column, which I replaced it with stack. And in the stack, we had the padding And where is our container? Here we have container.
Welcome back, Amish.
Okay.
The poll was about...
Actually...
Yep.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
You first. It's your session.
Wait. I want to change something. Sorry, guys. Just go back. Because I'm not sure about... Okay. Here is our container.
Yes.
And actually we need the container, and on top of that we need the icon button. But at the moment, I mean, the column which we have here is just for our icon button and the text. Correct. Which we will go show it later.
Yep.
And the stack which we need should contain our container and icon button.
Okay, it's a solution, yeah. So, but it could be also a part of it. It's not so mandatory.
So what I want to do is actually to wrap our container with a stack.
Okay, can do that. So you see, it's not necessarily easier to do it that way.
You are right.
Amish, the poll was about if we want to combine the two widgets here to improve the widget that we have with that image picker by creating a stack or combining both widgets. Can I help you somehow?
Maybe. We have here a container, and I miss at the end something.
We use the clip R rect because the image that we select is getting pushed on top of it, and we need a border radius on top of surrounding it, and that's the reason. But it can change maybe in a second. But let's see.
Okay. Now we have a stack. We have a container.
Yes.
And inside of container, we have our image.
No. This is just a check if the image is not.
Yeah, it's a check. Okay. We have a column and I think our column should be... In the column we have the icon button, right?
Correct.
Now we should bring our image check with the column with the icon button out of the container. Do we
even need an image check here at that place anymore? Because you say already that we want to have that always in the stack, but only one part, the image itself, is not visible if we have that check. So is this check even correct? Or do we want to always show now the column?
We check this one for the text max.
Your idea was that we have a container, and then on top of it we have an icon button.
Yes.
And if we have an image, we push inside of the stack like the container, the image, and then the icon button.
Yes.
So we have a stack with 3 widgets.
Yes.
Right? A container. Then we have a second widget, which is the image, maybe or maybe not.
Yeah.
And then we have the third one with the icon.
No.
Yes. You see?
I think we have a container, and after that we have a column on top of that, which contains our image and the icon and the text.
And what happens with but this doesn't change anything about this check.
Okay, so you mean that we don't need it anymore?
Not yet, not at this place.
Okay.
We need the whole child of that container is not necessary anymore, Mahtab.
Okay.
Because the child of that container, you want to create stacks now. That means you want to put them on top of each other.
Yeah.
And you have a stack with children, and every children will be on top of the other children, right?
Yes. Which means this is gonna be our icon button.
Ah, all right.
I just put...
Congratulations, Amish.
Okay.
Hey, Arvin, you are also back. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys. And here. So we don't need this null check.
Nope.
Anymore.
Not yet.
And we don't need our child.
But if you delete that now, you know what happens, right?
Yeah, I know. So I will go maybe for something like that.
That's too much because you want to take first the column, right? Because we want to now put them.
Go for this one.
Yes, and put them in the children part of the stack.
Where is it? This is the first one. And this is the second one.
So perfect. Now
and
the last one is the image itself.
Right? Which one?
Yes.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
And now I will bring it at the end of our...
Is the image in the end or is it in between? You have a container, then the image, and then the icon.
So it's in between.
Yes, I know.
So.
But you wanted to put it on the end. Yes, so after the container and before the column.
This one.
Correct. And now we can remove the child of the container.
And this one.
So now first
Too
everything.
much. No,
Just the child? Yeah.
Here.
Fantastic. So now everything crashed. That is fine because file is unequal to true, to null.
Okay.
So
now we have stack. We have these three parts.
you should get, or I should get an email address from you, Amish, somewhere. Hopefully you enter that. And then I will send you later the link to it. I hope at least that this happens like that.
Okay. Now our image is at the beginning should be false. So, and I don't want to scroll like crazy.
Wait, I checked that right away.
And here we go, to start the application. Here.
Yes, exactly. So what I can do is I send in the meantime Amish his access.
Here
or do you need me? Look at the error message, Mahtab.
This is because our image is null.
Correct. And this is happening inside of our widget build, right? So it needs, any widget of us can't be created because the image is null. So which one is it? We have the container, then the image, and then the icon.
The image.
Correct. So where is the image?
I just scroll like crazy.
Okay, so the clip R rect is it?
Here we go.
Exactly. Yes, so this is our image. And the clip R rect, the whole thing can't be visible if we don't have the image.
Yeah.
So how do we...
So we can here check if it's
correct
there or not.
Yes.
So which is the... If the image is equal to... not equal to null. We need the clip rect, right?
Exactly. It can't be null. Else we can't build the whole thing, right? So that's the problem.
Can't be null. We will build it. Otherwise,
just null.
We will.
I don't know if this is possible, but let's see. Either. In the worst case, it's not possible. So just return a container. So and thanks to the amazing Flutter widget, tree shaking, that container will be dropped away whenever the build is created in production. So that's fantastic.
Perfect.
But as you can see, your icon is now not anymore centered.
Not anymore center. And the icon button and column, and this is... Wait, we have here stack, and I think in stack we have also something like... I don't like your editor, Max.
You don't like my editor? These are the real problems in development. You don't like the editor.
Okay, so I think stack should also have something like column with the main axis and cross axis or something like that?
No, unfortunately not.
Not at all?
That's why you use these positional things sometimes.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
No worries, that's
so we will
why
use
I'm
the
here.
Position
That would be one solution. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is another possibility, but you have a column, right?
So
The question is, can you make that column, for example, stretched for the cross alignment? I'm not sure. It's just a thinking that I have.
cross.
Stretched. Yeah, you see? Now the only problem is that it's not height enough. So the height is not perfect because the column thinks it has only this space that you can see up there.
So how about if we make it extended?
Expanded?
Expanded.
Yeah, you can try that. I'm not sure, to be frank. Okay, it's gone.
It's too expanded.
Yeah. So what I will do in the meantime is removing the poll because it is anyway solved. Cancel base.
The main doesn't work anyway, so I just remove the main.
I watched the chat image, no worries.
And here
VS Code versus Android IntelliJ, and the winner is no.
Image selected, and here we have the text. And okay, let's do something and put this one in. No, but not the whole. Just the icon button, maybe.
Wait.
In the position.
But the position needs to be a direct child of the stack.
Thank you.
So that will not work else. But what do you want to do?
I want to put our icon in the middle.
All right. So still, this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
The issue is if you have a position it, how would it help you? You can just enter the top, left, down. But I think Amish has a very good point. We can just use align or center. That could work. I'm not sure with the center, but I'm pretty sure with the align that will work.
Okay.
I think you can maybe center the icon button, not the column. It's just a test. I'm not sure either with that. So yeah, see, it doesn't work. But I think the align would be a good option so that we align the column into center.
Okay.
The align is just for the stack. Sorry, Mahtab.
Everything is fine.
Calm down. Nothing happens here.
Okay, we need here the align.
Yeah, or we can try it. Just to try again. So, yep, align. Oh yeah, we can? Okay, but we don't want just to have one thing aligned, right? Or hopefully, I don't know. Not even sure if it's working.
I don't know.
Okay, unfortunate.
What about bottom center or something? No, the problem is I think that the whole thing is doesn't take the whole place of our container.
Okay.
I think.
Can we take a look into?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
This is the
right.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
Our column doesn't take the whole place. What we need to stretch it in this.
But can we stretch it inside of a stack? I'm not sure with that. So we can remove the align for sure.
Yes.
Image. I need a while. I'm in the middle of a stream. But I can check in the meantime.
The column and
so here's this, and in the meantime I will.
So guys, the container is the whole. The clipboard works probably, and here we have the column cross axis and main main axis.
Unfortunately, it's not getting stretched. It will not work like that. I think.
I thought it could get stretched.
Yeah, but what you can try is maybe surround the column or stack. Oh, that is a good idea. The stack has the fit expanded. That could work.
Okay.
True that.
What does it have? A fit?
Not inside of a children.
Ah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Here we go. Then stack, fit, expand.
Oh, I think the problem is now
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. Why is it so complicated now with that? The question, do we really need a column?
So, how about if I submit it? Okay, this is how it sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think expanded could work inside of the stack just. So if we take a look into the column and just expand the column, it's just a try. I'm not sure.
We did it, oh?
I'm not sure. Did we?
Yeah.
But why is it not getting expanded? That's a weird thing.
This is this. Okay.
So we can center it, maybe expand it and center the column. If you add the center, image is writing that. Maybe it's working. No, also not.
The problem is our height.
Yeah, but the problem is the question is why.
Okay, so I will remove the center part. I think the expand should work, but it doesn't. What do we have here? How about overflow?
No, overflow is just what you can't see, so that is overflowing outside of the box. So this is something completely different. No, it's a bit weird that this is not working. So what can we do?
Alignment can't help us.
Yeah, we can try that with the alignment again, but instead of the center, maybe we have the expanded.
Maybe put column in container and expand container. This could
help. That could help, yeah.
We can go for this one.
Yeah, just save it now. Maybe it's already something doing. No.
I did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So which didn't work, and now what was the next one? And expand the container. Oh, come on.
Can we close the complete app once more and start it up again? I'm a bit afraid that
really?
Maybe it is such a stupid error. Yes, so just stop the app once more, start it up again, just in case. Just that we don't do a lot of stuff, and at the end it's really a trivia thing. Oh, you even close the iOS simulator. You are really tough.
Yeah.
Good old bugs. We love them.
iOS.
Is it not opening up again?
Is anywhere something that I can see?
I think it would just take time, or should we close it up again?
Hi Android user, how are you doing?
Here we go.
Perfect. We have this one, and now we are going to start it.
Because it sounds somehow weird that we can't have a stack with an expanded widget surrounding it, and it's also weird that we can't use the container and everything. So I'm not very sure if this is working like I expected.
Yeah, maybe we should try it again.
Yeah, in the worst case it is this, or in the best case it is this, and if it is not, then we have to double check. I wonder myself if there is a possibility to get these images a bit faster. They are network images, right? Yeah. So that's why it takes time. Okay, then it's fine.
So we have already here some bugs.
Okay, that's fine. So we use the expanded widget, and he don't like the expanded widget. That makes so much sense. So because the expanded widget is not usable inside of a stack. So when we remove that, but we can now try it once more with a center widget.
This is the container.
Can we check once more the Flutter inspector just to see where the container goes? No.
Just this one. We have container, we have column.
Okay, so what did we all try?
If we go for height, for example, and go for media query and set it to the max height? Or max
the problem is the media query is for the whole screen, right? So it will not help us. But
that's right. Okay.
What we can try is once more giving an alignment, because now we have to test once more all the things that we could do because even the main axis alignment could be right, because as you could see, we have an issue there. So maybe the main axis alignment center would already work without that we do anything. If you remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we go one step below and inside of the column, just press once more enter? Yep, and say main axis alignment. Or yeah, exactly this one. And then there is also something, I think the main axis size max. I don't know if this helps. No, it doesn't. But what is this container below there? Can you see that?
Yes. Wait, how about if we go for here, 80? Okay.
It just takes its space that it needs.
It's just the test space that we need, and this is. And how about if we do something else? If we just put this, our icon button in a container.
Maybe in a center widget?
In a container, and now our container can be expanded.
Try it. The problem is if the space of the expanded is just that. Whoa.
It's too much.
Interesting.
Actually, I have non-zero flex, but.
So the height is unbound.
Okay.
So many nice tries here. At least we try. So what is the problem here? We have an icon button, and this icon button needs to be centered inside of our stack. Can we surround the column with an alignment once more?
What should we do? Sorry.
The column inside of what did I say? The alignment, and then inside of an align widget, and then say alignment of center. That
So
it's
the
get
icon button in alignment.
the column, because the column lives in the stack. So the stack would be having a specific width. So maybe this is working now. Align is the widget, I think. And then give it the alignment. And then say center. Exactly. Still, maybe hot reload.
We should do something. I'll do that, but I think we should do something that the height is stretched.
Okay, so sized box with double infinity of the height.
The column side of the height box.
And welcome, welcome Kushwaha.
Size box expanded.
Yeah, right. But I think it will crash because infinity height for both, for the column and the sized box. Why is it broken?
So it can't help.
No, not really.
So guys, oh man.
Okay, let's fix it differently.
Okay,
Instead of having a column, let's remove that column. It seems that this is a problem. We use the icon button and the text in its own widgets and make it on top of the stack.
We can do that.
Finally,
okay,
and with that we are done. So,
yeah. So we can go here, this one. We can go directly here.
Yep.
And
the same thing for the text. It's just on the below that.
Here? Here. And here.
Exactly, Haida. I think you find the link down in the video description below. And if not, please tell me, then I will add it there.
Here. And now I don't need the column anymore. Let's see.
Correct. So.
Better. No, I don't know.
Not perfect, but still, yeah, something happens. So now we can surround, for example, the icon button in an align widget, because
or in
now,
a center widget.
Maybe in a center, we can try that. Oh, look at that. But still, the height is not taking place. That's so weird. Wait.
Now is the
Can you please put the stack inside of the container? Because the stack is not knowing how big it is. Can it be the case? I would have
It
this
puts
whole container is the parent of the stack, not the stack is the, because the stack has only, you see, it's
okay.
not expanded. That is the problem. Now that
So,
makes so much
We
sense.
can have a child here,
Yes, and the whole stack is part of the child.
and we have here stack,
Mm-hmm.
and here we have different children,
Correct.
and here I will remove.
Not yet.
No,
We will
not
first
yet.
copy the whole children
Yeah,
inside.
what's this say? So it's gonna be from here
Mm-hmm.
to.
I think that's the solution that will work. Here,
Right.
there, up there, up there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No
Here we go,
worries.
other.
Yep, could be.
Here we have stack.
Yes, because now the stack knows how high
Yeah.
it is, because
Yeah,
that was missing the whole time. And now you can remove the stack on top.
I can remove this one
And that part.
and
The whole line, yeah.
that part.
Exactly. Now look at that.
Hey, Max.
All right.
You are cool.
Yeah, but I think now
Change
we will
content size.
we will have the problem that most likely the the text is on top of the icon, I could imagine.
But we have a column for text, and no, remove that. But we can use the position because we have now.
We can also use the alignment. Yes,
Or
all of this
alignment.
should work now. Can we create this error message just to
Yes,
see
I
where it
will
is
just
and if it
remove
works?
this one.
Okay, it's on the top,
It's
but
also not bad. Oh,
it is really bad.
okay. Yeah, okay. So
I think instead of is it part of the padding? I think you have to surround the padding with it, or
right, here we go. Here, this one. And we can go for this one with align.
Yep.
Align.
Yep.
Like that is better.
Alignment.
Alignment.
And then bottom center.
Bottom center.
Fantastic.
Look at that.
And can we replace that context empty with a container? Yeah, because I think that is the cheapest method instead of having a text. Fantastic. And now you can see the icon is exactly in the center, which is really good.
Now I'm curious. If we select an
Oh,
item,
so close.
so close, and now, and I can select it again, Max.
Perfect.
Perfect.
The only problem or the only difference that we also have to do is if this image is selected, we somehow have to have a background for the icon, I think, because else it is not readable anymore. Can you select once more the image? Just any. So is the icon really visible?
No, but we want to put a layer on top of that. On top of the image.
Oh, yeah, true. Yep, true.
That
We
was
want to
what
make it
we
darker.
wanted,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah, that's true.
So, which means.
Yeah, the icon is solved after 1 hour. So, as you can see, development is always a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We love that. Okay.
And we should also fix the image alignment. Okay. Now we have container.
High five replay should be part of the highlight reel. Is there a highlight reel?
High five replay should be part of that. Okay. We have here your cool widget, which was the clip or rect. And this is.
Why is it not in the center?
I don't know again why is it not in the center.
Okay.
It clipped right, but weird.
Yeah, true.
Or is it pushed to the left?
I don't know. It's difficult to say.
Wait, how about if I just remove this one at first? No? Ah. Huh?
Yeah, it's a bit odd. So I would surround it maybe with a line center.
Or
Exactly. Do it exactly with the align again or with a center widget.
Center I wanted.
It's getting better, but you can see it is smaller.
Why? Does center has any padding or something like that? Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, just to check it, I will go one time with alignment, but I think it doesn't have anything.
No, I think it will be the same.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
No, go for you.
I don't like it. Okay.
Yeah, the problem is that the image is smaller than the container. The question is why?
But when I just remove this one,
it is still smaller.
It's smaller, and also it's not in the middle.
So you can center it. That was what has worked the easiest, right? So if you use center, it's already in the center. The problem is now it's just smaller. I don't know why.
Yeah, but we can also, does it have also image cover or something like this? The fit part?
No, the fit part is already set with cover, and image is writing expanded with center. The problem is, I think an expanded is not possible in a stack, but you can try it.
Expanded our image, or expanded our center. Or?
Exactly.
Expanded.
Yes.
Now
okay.
let's crash here again. Hamish?
Unfortunately not. But I think right now what we could do, instead of having an own widget for our image, what we could do is just saying that we have that image as a background decoration of our container.
Okay, which...
Would that be a solution?
Or you mean to have in the stack at first a container and put the image as background image of that?
No, that we just use the container itself that we have already on top here, and use here the decoration and their image decoration or decoration image.
And if we don't have an image, it should be transparent, and if we have image, it should be...
That sounds like I thought about it, yep.
Okay, so...
It's just a solution that I can imagine that works.
We have here now, not here.
Why not?
Here. Background?
No, just image.
This is image. Then we have the decoration image.
Correct, yep.
We have here image.
Yep.
And here, this part.
Careful, you can't really copy it.
This is image file.
It's the file image, I think. It's just a name. You just need an image provider. A file image, I think, is the name.
Is it? File image.
And then you can pass the underscore image inside. And the fit of, I think you have to put it in the decoration image, the fit. Cover. And you see, now we have covered that part, and even we don't even need the rect. Yeah. But now we maybe come to the problem. It can't be null, right? So this is the next thing that we have to check. So we can remove the whole widget here. We don't need it anymore.
So we can go for this one and do that. And now we should check here our image.
Yep.
If the image is not null, we want to go with this one, and otherwise...
How should we use the equals operator image? I think we set a value then to it automatically. So if this would be null, so we could say instead of unequals null, we would say if image is null. No, that wouldn't work. It would just help us for the value. That wouldn't work.
If it's not null, we need the decoration image, and if it's null,
just null.
Can I pass just null here? Yeah, why not?
Let's see if it works.
Wait, I have here too much. Yes, but
is it faster? Well, that highly depends on what you mean with faster. VS Code starts up very fast and is very fast to work with. But if you want to extract methods, for example, or want to do some stuff like that, Android Studio Android Studio will be always a bit ahead. I think it's very, very smart. Okay, it's a weird chicken, but yeah. Hey MG Mayo, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
What is that? Bayern Munich, I think.
It's a football. I vote for Intelligent Idea.
Idea is amazing. As I said, I love all the JetBrains products, so you will not change me there. But I will work with Visual Studio Code here in the live stream because I know a lot of people really like it.
Okay.
And if you are hardcore, you can try Vim. Vim is very fast, but ugly. Okay, so what happened? You can select now an image, right?
We can select an image.
Fantastic.
And we can reselect it, but if we just cancel it, it's gone.
That's perfect, or? I mean, it's getting overwritten with null now because you didn't select an image. And with that, it's getting away, right?
Yeah, but actually, if you select an image, it should be stayed. It should stay here.
And if this is
overwrite it.
If this is the case, we have to change the method where we select it.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it should be, no, I don't know, should be empty or should be, yeah, for now I think.
For now it's fine, I think.
It's fine, okay.
The question is now, do we want to select the image from the gallery or do we want to directly make an image? Oh, I'm not really in the picture. Hi.
So for now, I would say the initial idea was to select it from gallery.
Yeah, okay.
That was my idea for the save recipe that we do some screenshot from our handy or mobile, and after that we can just upload them.
All right, so let's stick with that, I think.
Amazing. 2 hours almost.
Yeah, last step would be to make it dark, to create like a dark layer on top of the image. I'm not sure how we can do that, but I think that should be part of the decoration image if we are lucky.
So we have here our decoration image, and this is this is this. And now let's see, we have color filter.
Color filter, yeah, that could work.
I think this could help us. Color filter.
I think we have to Google that, I think. Or do you know all the color filter commands? Me neither.
Okay.
The next live stream, I think the next live stream is with command next live stream or next stream or something. Let me check.
Image.
I didn't check that yet. I really have to remember them. Or maybe I can also do a bot or something that always pushes the stuff inside. I think next stream is pretty much it. Yeah. The problem is next stream will not be on Saturday because, as I said, we have to prepare the talks for Flutter India and Flutter Saudi Arabia. So this Saturday I will take a week off, unfortunate. So it will be the next week then on Wednesday again, where we will work together.
It's gonna be blended.
But I hope really to see you at the talks.
So I will use this one.
Yeah, sounds good. Looks good.
Let's see if this will help us.
Programman. It's also new. Didn't have seen you around here. Great to see you. The other command was uptime.
What do I do that it's gonna be crazy?
So I think uptime.
Wait, did I? This color filter.
Was it uptime? Let me check again. Yeah, uptime is right.
This is this one.
It has been. All right, so parameter unavailable. You know that, huh?
I thought.
Do you need help?
No, let's see. Here we have a color filter and new, and here we have a color filter, and we can go for this one.
Yep. Oh yeah, look at that, it's getting white.
So
can we use the blend mode darken?
Blend mode. What does it have? Everything?
Color burn, darken. I use usually darken with that. So it's getting a bit darker. And now what we can do is, instead of having a dark...
icon image, we can go for white.
Exactly. Or the problem will be that it's white, so maybe darken is not a good idea. Maybe you were better with your getting it brighter.
Yeah.
Because I think if we have a dark theme, it would be better to make it white. But with that, we have the contrast. But 0.2 is maybe... Yeah, it's a bit too much. I think so too.
What opacity?
0.6 maybe?
Or 8 maybe?
Yeah, let's try it. Oh, look at that. It's also...
5.
So perfect. So the user will exactly know what he has entered. The image is there. And hey, that screen looks already pretty fantastic, or?
Yes, I would say the same. I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, that's good. I think that is exactly what we wanted. What I'm a bit surprised is how fast that is, right? You select the image, it is immediately there. The screen is perfectly... this app, I think it will take ages.
When we will finish this app,
on the other hand,
I think because we just develop on the app 2 hours in a week, I think we need a couple of more weeks.
I think so
but
too.
On the other hand, I think for MVP, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, depends on when we start with the SQL Flight, or if we use the solution Hive. But if we use Firebase, for example, it's getting more complicated and it will take...
But I think actually it should be...
Locally?
Locally, so...
Yeah.
That was the main idea. But if
look
you
at
guys
that, everyone wants to have Firebase.
Firebase, no, it's just Hamish.
But yeah, and Android user, I think. I know.
Hamish wrote more times Firebase. So
yeah.
Actually.
You know, but Firebase would be an option, but it's way more complicated, right? You have to implement all that heavy stuff. You have to make it in the cloud. And so... At the moment, I'm thinking this app should be a local app that we can use easily. That was the main
idea also, if we want to do that. And we can improve our app.
And the cool thing would be if we manage it to really release that application, we could also show how you can go into the App Store, release everything, make maybe a CI/CD with you guys, that we can create that part. SQL Flight or Hive is also an option that I can see with that. And it was really fantastic to see you all around today.
Yeah, that was an amazing session again.
And the next time what we will do is hopefully finally a database, right?
Save some data into a database.
Okay, so
yes.
I promise you today, and most likely we will forget till next week, that we will work on the database.
Yes, let's see. So guys, we wish you a happy weekend and happy coding. Take care of yourself.
Join us on the Flutter days.
Yes.
Hope to see you soon.
It's gonna be amazing.
Until the next time. Thank you for watching us. See ya.
See ya.
Here's the camera.
Here we have something.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Correct.
No, it's ending.